You are sprinting towards someone who is walking away from you. Not running, not even standing still, walking away, and you are exhausted. Not because life is hard, not because you are weak, but because you have been carrying a relationship entirely on your own back and the other person does not even notice the weight is gone when you put it down. That is the part that breaks you, not the chasing itself. The fact that when you stop, nothing changes on their end. Let that land for a second. You have been the one texting first. Always. You have been the one making the plan, following up, showing up, keeping the whole thing alive through sheer force of will. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you have known for a while now that if you stopped, the silence would just stretch indefinitely and they would be fine. That is not a relationship. That is you loving an idea of someone who has already quietly moved on. And the most painful truth of all, you already know this. You have known it. But knowing and accepting are two completely different things. And you have been choosing knowing without accepting because accepting means it is over. Accepting means you have to grieve something that never fully existed in the first place. And that is a specific kind of loss that nobody prepares you for. So instead, you keep running. Because running, as exhausting as it is, feels better than standing still and facing what is actually true. Here is what nobody tells you about chasing someone who is not running toward you. It is not about them. It was never about them. The reason you chase is not because you love this specific person so deeply you cannot help it. The reason is older than them, quieter than them, more personal than them. You chase because somewhere along the way you learned that love has to be earned. That connection requires effort just to maintain. That if you stop working, stop proving, stop showing up, people leave. And so the anxiety of uncertain love started to feel normal to you. It started to feel like what love actually is. And when someone consistent and available and genuinely running toward you shows up, something in you registers it as too easy, as not quite right, as boring. But when someone is hard to read, inconsistent, requiring constant effort just to keep their attention, something in you lights up. Not because it is good, because it is familiar. And familiar feels like home even when home was exhausting. You have also made their validation mean something about your worth. You have decided unconsciously, quietly, that if this specific person chooses you, it proves something. If they text back, it means you matter. If they show up, it means you are worth showing up for. If they finally run toward you, it will settle something you have been trying to settle for a long time. The problem is, you have handed your self-worth to someone who is not even paying attention to it. You are waiting for a verdict from a judge who has already left the courtroom. Here is what this is actually costing you. And I do not mean emotionally, though it costs you that too. Every time you check your phone hoping they responded, every time you replay a conversation trying to figure out what you did wrong, every time you rewrite a message 4 times hoping this one lands differently, that is your attention, that is your energy, that is your life, and you are spending it on someone else's indifference. The longer you chase, the more you lower your standards without realizing it. You start celebrating the bare minimum. You feel grateful when they actually show up to something they said they would. You have recalibrated so far downward that basic human decency from them feels like a gift. And while you are pouring everything into chasing one person who is walking away, you are completely missing the people who are already running toward you. The ones who text first. The ones who remember what you said 3 weeks ago. The ones who show up without being asked. The ones who make you feel like the most obvious choice in the world rather than a difficult decision they have not quite made yet. You are missing them because you are always looking in the wrong direction. So, what do you actually do? First, you stop, not dramatically, not with a speech or a final message trying to make them understand what they are losing. You just quietly stop initiating, stop following up, stop keeping the thing alive on your own. And then you watch what happens in the silence. Either they notice and reach out, which means there was something real there that had become unbalanced, or they do not notice. And the silence tells you everything you needed to know but were not ready to hear. Both outcomes give you something valuable. But you cannot get either one while you are still running. Second, you redirect every drop of that energy back into your own life. Every text you did not send, every plan you did not make, take that and put it somewhere that gives back. Into your work, into your growth, into the people who are already choosing you, into becoming so genuinely engaged with your own life that chasing someone who is walking away starts to feel not just painful but incompatible with who you are. Third, you examine why you keep ending up here. Because if this is not the first time, it is not bad luck. It is a pattern, and patterns have origins. You do not have to answer those questions alone, but you do have to ask them. Because until you do, you will keep finding yourself out of breath chasing someone who already decided which direction they are walking. The right people do not require you to chase them. That does not mean real relationships require no effort. They do. Showing up, being present, doing the work of genuinely knowing someone, that is effort, and it is worth it. But there is a fundamental difference between the effort of mutual connection and the exhaustion of chasing someone who is not running toward you. The right people move in your direction. Maybe not at a sprint, maybe not immediately, but they reach out, they remember, they show up, they make it clear through small consistent actions that you are someone they have chosen and keep choosing. You deserve that. Not as a consolation, not as something to tell yourself to feel better. You actually genuinely deserve to be someone's obvious choice. To be in relationships where the effort is mutual, where your presence doesn't need to be constantly justified or earned or fought for. Stop spending your energy trying to become the right person for someone who has already decided you are not. Start putting it into the people who already see you and are already moving toward you as fast as they can. Stop chasing people who are not running toward you. Not because they are bad people, not because you are giving up, but because somewhere ahead of you there are people already moving in your direction, and you will never see them if you are always looking behind you. Turn around. They are already coming. If this hit you somewhere real, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And tell me in the comments, have you ever chased someone who was not running toward you? What finally made you stop? See you in the next one.